There is a lot going on in the woodyard today. I've got my hands in projects all over the place. Multiple projects, multiple things going on, multitasking in the woodyard. Just checking in over here. I got another batch, another test run going in the kiln. Was doing did one run this morning, and now I'm on my second run for the day. I've got stuff I'm cleaning up and moving around. I'll show you all that later on in the video, what all has been going on, what I've been doing. But the one thing that I need to come up with is a solution for this right here. This is what's left from the maple that I ran through the Easton Made 37D. And there's some stuff in here. There's all this slash is great for burning in the fire pit over by the tiki bar. And it's, so I don't want to just rake this all up and toss it in the ditch like I used to. I thought I was going to be using some of this for the kiln, but the kiln is not taking nearly as much wood as I thought. So I wanted to find a solution for just like picking this stuff up and being able to easily access it if I can take it up to the fire pit and then burn it up and refill it. And I've been looking around, and I have like totes. The problem with IBC totes is that the openings are just too large. The slash and the smaller pieces fall out, and it's just not, I don't know. And then the other thing is you can only really fill it up halfway, because if you go any higher, then it spills out. And then the other problem is that you end up filling this thing completely full, and you never will probably get down to the bottom of it. So I've been trying to think of a way to just gather that stuff up and hold it together. And then I saw the crate over here that the timber ox was delivered in. And I got thinking, that crate, I think I can maybe do something with that. So I don't want to use this whole crate because, again, that would just be too big and bulky and you won't be able to really reach into it. So I'm thinking of cutting this thing in half and then flipping it over and kind of just mounting it on a pallet so that I can easily pick it up with the tractor, take it up to the fire pit, bring it back, set it over where the scraps are, scoop them up, put them in there, and take it wherever I need it. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to buzz this thing in half. I'm going to make the bottom half one crate and the top half another crate. And now that's going to be like all my scraps and odds and ends and little pieces that are too small to fit in an IBC tote because they just fall out of the openings. So this big wooden crate is finally going to get put to use. All right, so a quick, easy, simple, and more importantly, cheap solution. My little slash box. All the scraps and some smaller chunks for the sauna possibly. All this stuff, like I said, I can now just take this up to the fire pit by the tiki bar and set it down and pull out of it, bring it back here, load it back up. All the stuff that's left here on the ground, the smaller stuff, I'm just gonna leave because I'm gonna be running more wood and that's just gonna add to that. So once that gets kind of built up to the point where it's too much, I'll just come in with the bucket, scoop it up and haul it out. So there it is. There's the little slash box. Like I said, just a quick, simple, and easy solution that I just saw sitting over there for a way to pick up and transport all this slash. So this morning I also filled up another tote of sauna wood for a customer. So I got that done, and then check this out. The other day, Rick was taking down a couple birch trees just up the road, so I ran up there and picked up these chunks. So this is all gonna be mini birch firewood, and it is gonna make a lot of it. And birch was one of the ones that I wasn't sure how long I'd be able to have it in stock and have it as part of the Flames of the Northwoods mix. But I had a couple trees from the farm that I processed up, and now I'm gonna process all of this up, and this will make a lot. So it should keep me in stock for quite a while with the birch mini firewood. Rick also brought over a load of chips so I can kind of start refreshing some of the wood yard where there's some low spots and areas where the chips have kind of broken down and turned into dirt. Got a nice load of chips in. Here is the big side of the shelter. I had it laying out, kind of drying, but the wind has just been gusting around today, so it ended up over here. I'm just leaving it there. I'm not going to try to lay it out again just because, like I said, the wind's been a pain in the butt. There's the other piece, and here is the shelter, the frame of the shelter, that now I am just waiting for the tracks for the wiggle wire. I was thinking that it was wobble wire, but it's wiggle wire. So I've the tracks and the wire. I've got the film. I got the greenhouse film to put over the top of this, but I'm just waiting for the tracks and the wire. And those, I ordered them, and then I went to check the tracking, and it said that the item was discontinued. They never notified me, so I had to cancel my order and order from another place. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take those tracks and I'm just going to mount them right above this T-joint here, all the way down the line, and pull the plastic over the top. And then again over here, I'll do the same thing, mount the tracks right above that bar that's already on there. Pull the plastic over and use that wobble wire, or wiggle wire. Jeez, I gotta get that right. And then on the ends here, these ends are meant to be on under the top canopy. So you can see how they kind of wrap around there. So I won't be able to put these on over top of the plastic. So what I think I'm gonna do is oh yeah, these things are blowing around. I'm gonna get these fastened down as best as I can with the ratchet straps they come with. And then what I think I'm gonna do is put another like thick 2-inch strap, ratchet strap over top of the plastic and on this, and kind of just strap everything down over the top of the frame. I've seen where you can take that wiggle wire frame and you can like fasten it to this and kind of bend it up and then lock the plastic in, but I don't know how it would work, like drilling through the plastic underneath or that canvas underneath. And so I'm going to try the ratchet strap to start with, just all the way up over the top, and then just cinch down really tight. That should hold everything in place. We shall see. I got everything cleared out on the inside, and then the plan will be, once I get the plastic on the top or on the frame, I'm going to bring some of those wood chips over there, the new fresh chips. I'm going to give this a nice fresh floor in here of wood chips. The other thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to fasten a board from one end over to the other to kind of keep the frame, I guess, tight. This is supposed to be 12 feet wide, and when I measured it the other day, it was actually about 13, so like the bottoms have been sliding out. So I was thinking what I could do is possibly fasten a board across the bottom there and then drill it into the frame to kind of keep the frame from spreading out. Or I might get some spikes, some rebar, and drive it down in the ground to hold that the wooden 2x6 that the frame's fastened to kind of hold it in place and not allow it to push out on the bottom. Today would have been a nice day. Well, I don't know, maybe with the wind it wouldn't have been. But my plan for today was to get that plastic put over the top of this, but I don't have the wiggle wire tracks to mount to the frame to hold the plastic down. And then the last update over here, my second batch. We are at, what are we at here? We're climbing up there. We're getting close to 140 on this batch. So the other day when I turned some of the pieces to charcoal, I was actually, oh, this is kind of getting a little too hot. I had that at about 250, 275. And that got it in there, got it cooking a little too hot, I think. The first run I did this morning, I kept it right around 200. And that was kind of my target. And so now it's almost at 225. So I dampened it down, hopefully that'll cool it off a little bit. And here are a couple pieces from my first run that I kind of charred these things up. They got nice and hot. And it was smoking, so there was smoke coming out of that seam in the door. That's kind of how I noticed it. So yeah, they were probably, yeah, this is not what I wanted. But I think it just got a little too hot in there, and these things just kind of got charred up. And that's pretty much what like half the basket was like, was charred. So that is not good. But now that I got it dialed in, like I said, the second test run I did went great. This morning's run went great. You can see now we're up we came up 2 degrees, so not too much longer. We should be at the 140. So it's just a learning curve, just figuring out where that set point would be as far as the temperature reading on the kiln compared to, you know, how hot it was actually getting inside the chamber, and then being able to just damper that fire down. And let me tell you, like the first run this morning, I used 2 small pieces of limwood. I mean, they were cut about 15, 16 inches long, but they were probably only 3, 4 inches in diameter. And that burned the entire, it was a little over 3 hours, about 3 hours and 20 minutes that it took to complete the whole heat treatment cycle. But hardly use any wood, and then just, you know, checking in every 15, 20 minutes, half hour, and just keeping that temperature where it doesn't get too hot. Because if it gets too hot, you start getting charred mini wood. So that's going to do it. I got a bunch more stuff I'm going to get working on around here for the rest of the day. So thanks for watching. Hope everyone has a happy Easter. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.